So what should we do about Ben? That's the question every Steelers fan has on their mind. What do you do? Do you bench him because his production, really from when he injured his elbow and came back on, hasn't been great. And some Steeler fans like to argue that he never was great. That's a bold-faced lie, by the way. But what do you do? Do you put Rudolph in there? Well, Rudolph is clearly not the answer. We've seen what Mason Rudolph can do, and we're 4 years into the Mason Rudolph experiment, and he has not developed at all. Dwayne Haskins, maybe, but you saw what you got in Washington. I still think he deserves a chance, though. But what do you do when your best option isn't what he used to be? And make no mistake, you could certainly argue that while Terry Bradshaw does have more Super Bowls, Ben Roethlisberger is the best quarterback that has ever played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So what do? You have to play him. He came back. He wanted a final run. You have to play him. You have to. He's not the best quarterback in the league anymore, and I hate it when all the postseason, because Ben was always the guy, like, the preseason reports would come out, right? And Ben was always the guy that, he'd defy that, and he's kind of built his career off, well, he's just a mediocre quarterback, and, well, he's just no Brady and Manning. Well, nobody's Brady. Secondly, he may not have the mind that Peyton Manning does, because Peyton Manning is the smartest quarterback that ever played the game, but he's definitely a lot more talented than Peyton Manning. I will argue that fact with anybody. So he's overcome, and he finally started getting respect a little bit, but you kind of got to go back to what made Ben Roethlisberger great. What made Ben Roethlisberger great wasn't that he was lighting the scoreboard up. No, it was that he's, in my opinion, he was a great football player first and a good quarterback second. Because you go back and you look at the Ben Roethlisberger that was winning Super Bowls, that had the Steelers in contention almost every year when he first hit the league. He was all about making the plays that matter. He wasn't about stats. He wasn't about throwing it 50 times a game. He wasn't about, okay, well, if the run game just gets hits once, well, then, I'll have to throw it all the time and be the hero. It's like, no, you were about winning, and that's what got you the reputation. That's what made you on that level. And then Rashard Mendenhall fumbles a ball and you lose in a Super Bowl, and now you decide that, to protect my legacy, now that I have one loser, now I have to throw 50 times. And you're not that quarterback, Ben. You never were. I think you're great. I think you've been underappreciated. We're not going to talk about your off-the-field stuff because that's irrelevant right now, but I do have some opinions on that, and they aren't favorable to you, bro. But Ben, he's a Hall of Famer. Is he first ballot? That remains to be seen. He was great when he was about making plays and he wasn't about padding his stats. When he started to be about padding his stats, that's when he started to fall off. And now you can't be that guy anymore. You can't be the guy who just, you're trying to be both. You're trying to be the football player. You're trying to be the quarterback who can save the day and gun it 50 times. But you're also trying, you're also trying to be the football player that used to, be the hero of the day like you used to be and just make the plays no matter what. And honestly, you really aren't good at either now. But my solution to the Ben problem is pick one of those. Either you're going to go back to being more of a game manager and make the plays when you need to and help this team, or you're going to go down the same path you're going on and help and because you've built this up that you're a legend, which you are, but you're not the guy who throws it 25 million times a game. That's not you. The Ben Roethlisberger that won Super Bowls was the Ben Roethlisberger that was a better football player and cared more about the football plays and making the splash play, the quote unquote splash plays that we love throwing around in Pittsburgh, making the splash plays when he needed to. He was not the guy that I see on the football field. And he's certainly not the guy that I see um, that I saw the last couple of years who would just, just throw it down the field, hoping, to get the 50 completions or the 500 yards or however many touchdowns or whatever, and playoff losses, mind you. Um, if you have to play Ben, that's like I said. If you have to play Ben, that's your solution. You have to get Ben to be going back to the football player, the great football player, good quarterback, and not just the guy who wants to make himself look good by throwing the ball 50 times a game. But again, but I don't even know if he's got that anymore. To be honest, I mean it's he but that to me just seems like the best course of action. He's got to go back to being a better football player. You have to start him. He's your best option, even if he is hurt. He's your best option. I'd rather watch him than Mason Rudolph, get clunked in the head again. I'd rather, I don't know if I trust Dwayne Haskins. That's the other issue. Do you go get Deshaun Watson? I don't know, but do you want all those, all that other drama that comes with Deshaun Watkins? You already went through it with Ben Roethlisberger. So why would you do that after you've already gone through it with one guy? So I don't know. I think the best solution is hope Ben, again, I would like to see Ben go back to the guy he was when he first came in the league and just was about, winning football games and not about, padding my stats and, having the 3 touchdowns and feeling like I have to match an Aaron Rodgers. Benedict Rodgers. I have to match by the way, I call him Benedict because I'm still not over Super Bowl 45. Matching a Tom Brady, matching a Russell Wilson, or matching any of those quarterbacks who would put up their amazing stats and be talked about on ESPN. No, you never had to be that, Ben. All you had to do was just be the guy who would sit there and grind out wins and then make the plays when you needed to and make the touchdowns when you needed to. So what? You talk about all, he talked about all the time. Well, nobody remembers the loser. Nobody remembers the stats. Nobody remembers it. It's like, yeah, nobody doesn't. They remember, but they mostly remember who wins the Super Bowl. So why don't you do that? You talk about how you wanted to beat Terry Bradshaw. You're not doing that, bro. And now you're not even going to get the hero send off that you want because you're trying, you're trying to do something you can't do and you never really could do. So I know I've said it like 50 million times already, but the solution is Ben needs to go back. He's your best option, yes, but he needs to go back to being the great football player, good quarterback, and not just a great quarterback and a meh football player. So we'll see what happens Sunday in Denver. I'm not too hopeful, to be honest. I mean, they said he's injured, so I'm not real hopeful about Sunday, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's my birthday weekend. I would love a birthday one from the Steelers. Very rarely have they not produced one for me. So, but again, we'll see what happens, and I'll see you guys on the next Steelers recap of the game against the Denver Broncos. Until then, please like, please subscribe, and hey, here we go, Steelers.